Should you still squash spotted lanternflies? Here's what to know. Invasive nightmares or overblown fears. The debate over whether to continue squashing spotted lanternflies is rousing both scientists and lawmakers. And here's everything you need to know about this contentious issue. Late summer marks the dramatic transformation of the spotted lanternfly, from tiny, discreet nymphs with dotted bodies into larger bumblebee-sized insects that dart among the trees. Though these insects boast vivid red and yellow markings and are harmless in appearance to humans, their impact is far from benign. Introduced accidentally into the U.S. around 2014, likely through an international shipment that landed in Berks County, eastern Pennsylvania, these non-native platehoppers have now established themselves on American soil. They feed on more than 70 species of plants and trees, causing significant disruption. They particularly favor the tree of. How to remove Tree of Heaven, combating the spotted lanternfly. The silent invader. Why that tree in your yard could be fueling a dangerous pest explosion. By Mike Hogan, special contributor. The battle in your backyard. Spotted lanternfly numbers have surged dramatically, with a surprising accomplice aiding their spread. The invasive Tree of Heaven serves as the primary breeding ground for these destructive insects. Despite its harmful nature, this invasive tree can be strategically used to combat the very pest it supports. If you're a gardener or homeowner in central Ohio, you've likely encountered the spotted lanternfly by now. This invasive pest has been establishing itself in our region for over 2 years, but something alarming happened in summer 2024. Their population exploded. Behind this concerning surge lies another unwelcome visitor that's providing the perfect breeding environment for these destructive insects. The Tree of Heaven, Ailanthus altissima, might sound celestial, but its impact is anything but heavenly. This invasive species offers virtually no ecological benefits while causing significant damage with its aggressive root system that can crack pavement, infiltrate sewer lines, and undermine building foundations. This tenacious tree thrives virtually anywhere, particularly in neglected urban spaces throughout central Ohio. It shows remarkable adaptability to any soil type, and frequently emerges from the tiniest cracks in sidewalks and pavement, as well as overgrown areas. You'll commonly spot it along woodland borders and roadside edges. But here's where it gets truly problematic. A perfect partnership of destruction. The Tree of Heaven serves as the preferred host for spotted lanternflies. And right now, many of these trees are teeming with third and fourth instar, developmental stage nymphs of these insects. During the third instar phase, these pests appear black with distinctive white spots. As they progress to the fourth instar stage, they develop striking red coloration alongside their black bodies and white markings. In the coming weeks, these fourth instar nymphs will mature into adults, which display even more vibrant coloration than their juvenile forms. These adults will then deposit egg masses on trees, utility poles, fence posts, and various structures throughout September. When spring arrives, these eggs will hatch, causing an exponential population boom in subsequent seasons. Spotted lanternflies damage plants by extracting sap, which significantly weakens them and can result in symptoms like sap leakage, wilting, leaf curling, and branch dieback. They also secrete a sugary substance called honeydew, which promotes the growth of black sooty mold. This further harms plants by inhibiting photosynthesis and potentially causing death in some cases. While grapevines and hopvines suffer the most severe damage from spotted lanternflies, fruit trees and certain ornamental plants are also vulnerable to their feeding. A surprising strategic advantage. Though we typically advise removing any Tree of Heaven found on your property, these trees can actually serve a dual purpose in the fight against spotted lanternflies. They can function as sentinel trees to detect the presence of these pests, and as trap trees to attract any lanternflies in the vicinity. Once spotted on these trees, the insects can be knocked into a container of soapy water, effectively eliminating them. And this is the part most people miss. This simple technique can significantly reduce local populations before they spread further. If a tree of heaven on your property isn't currently hosting these insects, it likely indicates there isn't a localized population nearby. In this case, the tree should definitely be removed. For smaller specimens, heavy-duty loppers or a bow saw can be used to cut them at ground level. Larger, mature trees will require removal with a chainsaw, a task best left to professional arborists. After removal, vigilantly monitor the area for regrowth from the stump or new seedlings, as this species produces seeds prolifically. Any regrowth or seedlings can be managed through manual removal or application of a glyphosate-containing herbicide. How to identify your enemy? Tree of heaven can be identified by its large, compound leaves consisting of multiple leaflets with smooth margins. These leaves feature distinctive glands at their base that emit a foul odor resembling rancid peanut butter when crushed, along with characteristic heart-shaped leaf scars. Mature trees develop rough, fissured bark that resembles cantaloupe skin. In August, female trees of heaven produce abundant seed pods called samaras, making identification easier. It's worth noting that tree of heaven is dioecious, meaning male and female flowers grow on separate trees, with only female trees producing seed pods. At first glance, the compound leaves might be confused with black walnut, but tree of heaven typically has more leaflets, 11 to 41, compared to black walnut, 15 to 23. Additionally, tree of heaven's compound leaf can reach up to 2.5 feet in length, while black walnut leaves typically max out at 2 feet. The foliage might also be mistaken for certain sumac species. Do you have tree of heaven growing on your property? Have you noticed spotted lanternflies in your area? The connection between these two invasive species represents one of the most significant ecological challenges facing our region today. Share your experiences or questions in the comments below. Your observations could help others identify and address these threats in their own landscapes. Mike Hogan is Extension Educator, Agriculture and Natural Resources, and Associate Professor with Ohio State University Extension. Hogan.1@osu.edu. What to do if you see a spotted lanternfly? A new threat looms over Michigan. Spotted lanternflies are here. If you've ever wondered what's causing those sticky messes on your trees, or why your garden is getting covered in black mold, you're not alone. A mysterious insect from Eastern Asia is now invading Michigan, and it's causing a stir among residents and experts alike. But here's where it gets controversial. Should we kill these pests by squishing them, or find a smarter way to stop their spread? Let's break down what you need to know. The spotted lanternfly is a pest that feeds on a wide range of plants, including apple trees, grapevines, and even hardwoods. What makes this bug particularly problematic is its ability to secrete a sugary substance called honeydew, which sticks to surfaces and creates a black sooty mold. This mold not only kills plants, but also attracts pesky insects like yellow jackets and ants. Imagine a garden that looks like a greasy mess. This is what the lanternfly can do. The worst part? These insects prefer to eat a plant called the tree of heaven, which is common in Michigan. But they won't stick to that diet forever. If you spot a cluster of eggs, which look like old gum with a gray waxy coating, you're seeing a sign of their presence. These eggs can stay dormant for months, waiting for the right time to hatch. Juveniles, which are wingless and have red patches, appear from May to September, while adults are most active between August and October. Experts recommend a simple yet effective method. Scrape the eggs into a plastic bag and add a bit of rubbing alcohol or hand sanitizer to kill them. While squishing adults might seem drastic, it's a quick way to stop them from reproducing. However, some argue that chemical treatments could harm local ecosystems. And this is the part most people miss. The larvae can survive harsh weather, so prevention is key. If you spot these bugs, don't hesitate to report them to the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, MDNR, via their website. Social media has become a hotbed for sharing tips on how to eliminate them, especially on platforms like TikTok. But here's the catch. While these insects aren't dangerous to humans, their impact on agriculture and nature is real. Should we prioritize eradication or find a balance that protects both the environment and our communities? What's your take? Are we doing the right thing by squishing them, or is there a better way to manage this invasive species? Share your thoughts below and help us figure out the best solution for Michigan's future.